Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching. I wanted to try something today. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I thought it might be fun. All right, so I have been trying to kind of curtail my makeup purchases and really think about what I already have and do I really need it? And the truth is, answer to that is always no, I don't really need it, but sometimes I really want it. And I thought, maybe instead of purchasing it outright and then deciding, oh yeah, maybe not, that I would see if I could dig through my stash and see if I could find things that are similar. So something that recently caught my eye, made me go, ooh, so pretty, was this new palette from Jouer. It's Tan Lines. As I'm recording this, the palette is not yet available, and only people who have it, like from PR, who got it early to swatch it, to test it, to play with it, to review it, know what it really looks like and feels like. I'm going off a picture that I found on the Jouer Instagram, and those swatches are gorgeous, which is why it made me go, oh my goodness, yes! And the colors together are gorgeous, but the truth is, half of that palette I would not wear on the regular, and the other half I feel like I already have. So I thought I would go through all of my colors, my eyeshadow colors, palettes, singles, everything together, and see if I could come up with something close. Now, it's not identical, but it's the closest I could get with what I have, and this is what I got right here. I'll throw a picture up for you so that we can look at it a little bit better, but probably from here down was more difficult to find things in my current collection. I feel like if I was more of a green or a yellow eyeshadow wearer, I might have more options, but I had very limited options when it came to green and to yellow that were similar. Mostly I had darker greens or more golden yellows, and it was hard to get those colors as close to that. Also, that kind of turquoisey teal was hard. And these are the closest that I could find in my collection. I had 5 singles, the more warm neutrals I had in singles. And so I have them right here. The first one is from Colourpop. It's kind of a peachy color. This one's called Issues. The next one was that foiled peach shade. This is in the Spotlight from Makeup Geek. It's one of the foiled shadows. I love that formula. It's so gorgeous. I felt like I had a ton of shades like this in various palettes as well as singles. This is Flowerboy. It's from Colourpop. I had quite a few options for this, but I love this formula the best. This one is Legend from Makeup Geek. It's one of the foiled shadows. Another one I had a lot of in various palettes as well as in singles. I seem to love colors similar to this. This one is from Makeup Geek. This is Cocoa Bear. After that, I had to start digging through my palettes and start seeing what I had. I had some singles that were that same shade of blue, but not metallic. The closest thing that I could find was from this Reina del Caribe from Alamar, and it's this one right here. This one's called Varadero, and it's a really pretty metallic blue that has a slight greeny lean to it, but it's the sparkliest of all the blues that I had. From there, I thought, you know what? These two are paired right next to each other. This one wasn't quite bright enough. That other blue had more of a really light blue undertone. This leans more teal. This one's called Celia. You could use that if you have this palette, but I found something a little bit closer. Now, closer does not mean identical. I pulled out the Jaclyn Hill palette, and this shade down here is called Pool Party. And that's the one that I felt like was kind of the closest. All right, from there, that lime green. I didn't have anything that was a matte, limey green with that same intensity, with that hint of yellow in it, but not too yellow. The closest thing I had came from this, and there's a shade in here called Lime. It's, I think, not punchy enough, not yellow leaning enough, and it's not matte. So it kind of gives you that idea of green. It's the best I had. And the yellow from Jouer is more of a metallic yellow, and I'm sure we could get there if we mix a metallic with a matte, but the closest yellow I could find came from my Clover palette from Too Faced, and it's this yellow down here called Good Boy. So a lot of it is as close as I could get with what I have without going out to purchase. That, of course, is the idea. Now that I have all of these out, I never use that yellow. I never use the green. And I'm starting to dabble my toes in the blue eyeshadow waters, but this is where I'm comfortable. I'm gonna try not to use just these today, and let's see what we get. I thought we'd do eyes first. That's why I don't have anything else on, because I don't know what sort of pigment we might end up in places that we need to clean up. So I'm gonna start with that lightest peach shade, and I'm gonna put that in the crease first, and we'll go from there. I want to use some of this kind of warmer peach shade. I've really been liking shades like this for kind of warming up the crease a little bit. I don't want too much, just kind of a hint of something brighter right here. I'm going to use some of that kind of matte brown, kind of just on the outer edge. Felt like I did this exact same look yesterday with a different palette. All right. This is where I wonder, do I go greeny yellow or tealy blue? I think tealy blue would be safer, and I think the greeny yellow might work out better if I actually had the Tan Lines palette, because those colors are all made to go together. And mine's kind of cobbled together and they don't all have the same undertone. But let's see what happens if we put a little yellow on here. All right. I don't know that I'm going to get absolutely everything from this 8-pan shadow cobbled together palette on my eyes, but I'm going to try and use as many of them without looking crazy. All right, so I think at this point what I want to do is I want to use that more foiled warm brown kind of on the outside edge. I'm just going to use my finger because I love the way these lay down with a finger. I love Makeup Geek foiled shadows. We're going to see if we can kind of blend it into the yellow. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the yellow and just see if I can kind of, now that I've laid down kind of that golden brown color, that gorgeous warm color, a little more yellow on the inner corner and that first third of the lid. I don't want to lose the yellow. I mean, my natural inclination would be to lose the yellow. We're keeping the yellow today. So before I finish up my eyes, I want to put on the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and finish up the eye look. All right, to finish this look, I'm going to use that foiled peach shade on the inner corner. I've been waiting for this. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to run some of that warm brown mixed with that really peachy shade together on my lower lash line. And I'm going to take some of that shade called Pool Party from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just going to put that right down here on the lower lash line. I was debating green, teal blue, green, teal blue, teal. So this is the finished look. I will tell you, this is a lot of look for me. I'm not going to lie. I normally don't wear this many eyeshadow shades, much less yellow and teal at the same time. I would choose one or the other. And the truth is, I've never put a yellow eyeshadow on my eyelid. So I feel like I loved this look up until I started adding things on the lower lash line. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it a lot better. And I think I might actually even do it again. But keep it warm and smoky on the lower lash line as opposed to trying to incorporate more of the colors that I had found throughout my collection. I think I was a little overeager, and I'm not a beauty guru. I'm just somebody who loves eyeshadow, and I don't always know when to stop. But I really do feel like this warm smoke. I see why people love these, you know, oranges and yellows and warm browns, and I can get in with some of those, but I think the reason that I haven't really been into it is because it's intimidating to me. And I think forcing myself to step outside of my comfort zone has really helped me learn a lot about what I like, and maybe willing to try things that I've never done before. So what I like about this whole idea of there's a new palette out, I want to go get it. You got a lot of shadows, don't spend your money, see if you can cobble something together at home. Yes, it's not as easy to open one palette, because if you were just to open one palette and it's all there, that's fantastic. As I was thinking about some of these shades, it's not exactly the same, but a mix of warm and cool. The Reina del Caribe Volume 1 really has that. You don't really have a real yellow, like a bright yellow, but you have this orangey, mustardy yellow here. You've got a teal and a blue. You don't have those same peachy shades. La Costa comes pretty close. And then you have a brown. It's not as light or as warm as the one in the Jouer Tan Lines palette, but this could get you there. Another one that really surprised me was this Jaclyn Hill palette, because you've got kind of like a yellow here. You've got a ton of warm shades. You've got these guys down here. You do have some, you know, kind of peachy shades up and through here. You can get a look inspired by from this. The Clover palette as well, you've got the yellow, you kind of have a teal here, you have a mid brown, you have that peachy, you have a green. It's not the same green, but you could get an inspired by look if you happen to have this palette. If you are a singles lover, go through your singles and see, because I had like 5 that were, I felt super uber close. I feel like I could have like 12 other shades for each of these. I don't have a type at all when it comes to single shadows. Don't say that. Now, if you are not a makeup hoarder like me, pick out a color. Is it the green that inspires you? Is it the tealy blues that inspire you? Is it more of those warm peachy with the browns? And I'm sure you'll find something like that already in your own palette. Ooh, I thought of one more. If you happen to like more of those warm colors and not the yellows and the blues and the greens, this one came to mind immediately, because you have like this warm color here, you have some shimmery kind of peachy tones. You could get an interesting look with the Sultry palette if you like more of the warm half of it and not so much the cool half. But I really like this palette. I think it's beautiful. If you get it, let me know how you use it most. Do you mix the warm and cool colors? Do you do mostly a warm look or mostly a cool look? I'm always interested. I always want to know. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being subscribed, and subscribe if you haven't. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a certain palette you're interested in. I'm gonna see if I can dig through my, like a little squirrel digging through her nuts, dig through all of my colors and see if I can kind of cobble together something else that's inspired by. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon.